You won't see it, but it's mainly about the details. Think about it. When you open a car door, you see the rubber, you see the jam around it, you have all the latches and all that, all that stuff.
They didn't get that part.
Yeah, we left that silver.
You left that silver.
Oh, yeah.
So immediately when you open the hood or the car door, you can tell the car was painted.
Basically what it is you know the car washers you put like $1.25 in? Instead of water, they have paint in there.
Right.
And you drive through, you roll down the window so you can still see, and then you come out with a new paint job. But it actually looks pretty good. The problem is in a month it will look terrible. But that has actually, believe it or not, that has nothing to do with the story that I'm about to tell.
Still the only Lexus on the planet that's burnt Lamborghini orange, right?
Absolutely. People have commented.
Yes, I'm sure they have.
Yes, no, they say, is that a factory color? That looks fantastic. It should be.
If you shit yourself and walk around with a traffic cone on your head, people will comment. You understand? Comment isn't necessarily a good thing.
Nice cone on your head. What color is that? Lamborghini orange?
As a matter of fact.
So this leads us to...
So as Mike is telling me this story, and it's especially great because Mike, things don't go right for Mike in general. Mike has whatever the opposite of a charmed life is, Mike has let it.
No, but he doesn't know they're not going right. Only society knows it.
Well, he would be completely unaware of it if it weren't for us, really.
That's true.
But luckily we're here to remind him all the time that, I mean, he essentially lives in a prison, in a prison cell. Adam, you must go to his apartment because you will talk about it for the next, like, condo.
Well, I knew it was small when he said he bought something.
Yeah, well, normally people say condo, they say to kind of elevate themselves. Like, if you walk into this place, I would say apartment because then people say, oh, he's only renting it.
They were converted from apartments
to condos. He bought it because there was a guy with an arrow standing on the corner, pointing. He bought from a house from the arrow guy.
I kicked him out.
Yeah, so...
Can I say this quickly about the guy with the arrow? You know, they hire the guy with the arrow, and the guy turns into an acrobat. Yeah. He's spinning the arrow all over the place. I would tell him, take it easy. Because 3/4 of the time, the arrow's facing up. It's facing the ground. It's facing the other direction. It's so blurry. It looks like the fucking prop of a DC whatever. I can't tell. It looks like a helicopter blade.
Right. It's like advertising the whole neighborhood. Yeah.
Imagine if you were trying to advertise just Coca-Cola, but you put on a thing and you spun it around so fast that no one could read Coca-Cola.
And it's supposed to be pointing at something.
It's pointing at the ground more than it's pointing toward the condos.
Yeah.
I would argue it's pointing toward other condos that aren't yours, that someone else is trying to sell, more than it's pointing toward yours, and I can't read it. So slow down.
Yeah, maybe that's what happened. Mike said, oh, $399,000 for these condos, and he wound up in the wrong place.
Like that's chump change, by the way. That's expensive.
That'd be a good bit for your show, by the way. Why is it only condos? It's a big ticket item. Why is this only real estate? Like, why couldn't a funeral home have one of these guys? You know what I mean? Why couldn't a market? Why couldn't why couldn't a gynecologist have one of these guys? You know what I mean?
It is mostly real estate.
It seems all the condos.
It seems like it just seems like a foolish way to buy a home.
But like it's funny because you'd go if there was a dentist that had a black homeless guy holding a styrofoam arrow, you'd go, I'm not going to that dentist. But you'd be better off going to that dentist than you would dropping $250K on a condo. Yeah. I'm just saying if
dropping $250,000 on a $150,000 condo.
Now it's $150,000.
Why? I'm just saying.
It was $150 then. I got news for you.
I would love to see the gynecologist with the sign.
You should be being raped in there. I mean, really, like you should hire a shaved head black guy to rape you in that place to make you feel more at home.
I've lost so much money on that condo.
By the way, Adam,
I'll never be able to sell it.
You should put a plaque on this chair because I think people just think it's a chair right here.
Oh yeah.
And it is the actual from the Man Show set. Probably more significant, I think, than Archie Bunker's chair in the Smithsonian.
In many ways,
right?
yes, to a younger generation.
There should be something commemorating that.
Yes, the chair from the Man Show, the actual chair from the Man Show, sits here in our studio. And actually, you can tell it's a actual movie chair because there's a piece of 3/4-inch plywood that sits under the pillow.
It's to make it less comfortable. Yeah.
Yes, and that's what they do in Jimmy will attest to this. Whenever you sit down on the sofa when you're being interviewed on any of these shows, videos or Jimmy's show, first thing you feel is that bump of that plywood. They don't want you sinking in and relaxing.
We actually leave a nail sticking up through it too, so you don't get too relaxed. All right, so okay, all right. I don't want to get off track.
We're gonna torture Mike.
Okay, so here's what happened to Mike. So Mike tells me the story, and I'm amazed because nothing has ever come out right from Mike, and for him to capture a criminal, it's amazing. You know, I mean, it's just so the opposite of everything you know about him. So immediately when he told me the story, I started thinking about how I could capitalize on this.
Right.
And here's what I did. First, I tried to get some stationery from the city of Burbank, which I was unable to do.
Right.
So I went online and I found stationery, some logo from Burbank.
Right.
And I found the logo and I had it made into stationery. And I wrote him this letter. And I mailed this letter to him. And now I waited for it to get to his house, and I went to great detail writing this letter. I found out the name of the assistant to the mayor of the city of Burbank. I got a telephone number and an 818 number. I had my son actually switch his cell phone over to a message that said,
so he would,
"You've reached Karen Sellers at the Burbank mayor's office." Blah, blah, blah.
Can I say this quickly, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Burbank stationery, the letterhead has a picture of it's a drawing of a taxpayer holding his pockets out empty and a motorcycle cop butt fucking him.
Yeah, with the Chili's in the background.
With the Chili's in the background.
Don't you call it Rape Bank?
Yes, Rape Bank. So not only did Jimmy get this official stuff made up, but he actually took his son's cell phone and had it used as the assistant to the mayor.
Yes,
right?
I put that on. I put the number. And so now I videotaped Mike when he came into my office because I knew he would come into the office, and I made him read the letter to me, and I act surprised. Now keep in here. Keep in mind, this is me being an asshole pretending to be surprised by this. But I'm gonna put my microphone up to it so everyone can hear, and then we'll put the video online too. But
you can go to adamcarolla.com and see the video.